Hi, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm taking on an inside and outside video tour of this Forest River FR3 motorhome. And this is the top of the line FR3. This is the 32ds, which means it has the bunk bed package. It's got it's got a rear king size bed. First of all, king size bed in the rear, and you have these bunk beds. The bottom one turns into, it's set up like a double-decker couch. So the top one is a bunk and the bottom one is a couch that turns into a bunk bed, a Jackknife Sofa. You've got a power bed over the front. So it has an enormous front bunk bed that folds down over the driver's seat, which is really cool. You've got an outside entertainment system with outside speakers, LED illuminated light over your power awning. This is electric awning, so you got a switch, rolls up or rolls down, just hit the switch and it's power operated awning. You've got Bluetooth streaming music, so if I open up my playlist, I can blast my music on the outside speakers right here. So I've got streaming Bluetooth music, and of course, because it's Bluetooth, I can turn the volume down, or I could turn the volume up from right here. And you can annoy the neighbors or entertain the neighbors, depending on what kind of neighbors you have. Or you can keep the volume down. I'm gonna pause that. That's really cool. These are outside speakers tied to the dash radio. So the radio is in the dash and it controls these speakers. You can turn them off or on, depending what you want to do. Works really good. If you don't like my music, you buy the motorhome and put your own music, but I can also select different songs, all kinds of whatever's in the playlist, different music playing on the speakers, and then you can turn it off, on, whatever. And then on the TV, we have an outside TV. So we got little kids, they can sit out and watch TV and play outside. And it's really cool. The way they have this just closes up and locks. And then nobody knows if the TV's in there or not. But you do have a TV in there. Let's show you this full LED light strip over the awning. It's pretty bright. I'm gonna get my camera in the right mode. It has this LED light strip right there, going all the way down the full length of the awning. I didn't fully stop my music. Full length LED light strip. And then as we walk around, now if you get bored with my video, you can fast forward. Now remember, this is a power awning. Power close, power open. It closes in a minute, opens in a minute or less. And older RVs, you had to get a stick and unlock things and twist knobs and move handles. Not this one. You just hit the switch, the awning goes in, hit the switch, the awning goes out. This RV, I mentioned king bed, bunk beds. It has side cameras and the rear camera. These are micro cameras. Look, they're smaller, as small as my finger or smaller. You know, little tiny side cameras with color picture. So when you turn on the turn signal, you see a side view, a very wide view of the side of the motorhome. So if you're backing out of some place and you want to see, you can see what's around your tire. It's a very wide color view, so you can take a look at your backup camera. If you're pulling out of a driveway and you can't see well enough, those are very helpful side cameras. Let you see what's going on. Unlike most motorhomes, this has very easy access to the hood because these have clamshell style doors with two locks. You unlock them and these whole doors open up and you can get into the engine compartment from here. You've got halogen headlights. These are very high performance headlights. And I mentioned that LED light strips. You also have LED light strips. These are eyebrow LED lights. These eyebrow LED lights, and you have fog lights. So these LED lights come on. There's a separate switch for that, and when those are on, it has a FR3 logo in the front windshield here. So that FR3 in the front windshield is backlit like a soft glow from that FR3. So when you're parked at the campground and you turn on your eyebrow lights, that lights up too. It's very cool. All of your cargo storage doors are side opening, except for one, which is a long, skinny one. It's got an Awning 5500 watt generator and 50 amp power. So as I get back here, let's take a look at the generators running. You got the Awning 5500 watt 50 amp generator. Again, this is brand new. You would be the first individual to own this vehicle if you buy it. The side hinge doors are a big deal. If you notice, as you look at RVs, a lot of RVs, you have to lift this door up or flip the door down. But not this one. This has side hinge storage doors. So if you're driving and you happen to forget to close one, the wind as you're driving can blow them closed. And not only that, when they're open, they're very easy to see from the mirrors. If you happen to forget to close one, it'll be very obvious to you from the driver's seat, and you won't be driving down the road with your door hanging open for very long if you forget. That's really helpful. In the rear, you've got a mega storage, and this is huge. This is big enough you can fit a 10-speed bicycles back here, full-size, not folding bicycles, full-size bicycles without taking them apart will fit in this rear storage. It's huge, and it goes all the way through, and I'm going to put my camera in the right angle if it will cooperate. Goes all the way across, 8 feet deep. It can fit paddle boards, kayaks, 8 foot long across. Huge cargo storage. And here's your big 50 amp park cable. Now the generator is running, so I have the power running off the generator, but you've got a big 50 amp cable. See, I'll show you with this adapter. A 30 amp cable has 3 prongs and it has 30 amps capability. This has a 50 amp cable which has 4 prongs, which is if you're running 2 air conditioning, which this has 2 ACs on the roof. I'm going to try to climb up a little bit and show you the roof real quick. Come on, camera. I can carefully climb up and show you the roof. You have 2 air conditioning units up there. 2 air conditioning units up on the roof, and when you're running both AC units, each one will drain about 12.5 amps, and so having only a 30 amp power supply, you're pulling about 25 amps to run both ACs. Some RVs can do it. They have special switching devices to manage it, but since this has 50 amp, can do it. And then you can still use microwaves and all sorts of other features. So this has a mini backup camera as well. Right there. You've got your mini backup camera, and you've got the V5 towing package, which is pretty standard on Class A's. 7-pin connector, and this is brand new, so it has an adapter for that to reduce it down to like a 4-pin connector. So a V5 towing package means you can tow 5,000 pound trailer or 500 pound tongue weight. That's pretty standard. They don't usually get bigger than that, only very rarely, but they definitely get smaller than that for towing. So I'm going to move on to the interior and show you interior features. Before I do, make sure I mention this has the big towing mirrors with the wide convex lenses. Real nice wide convex lens, and the flat mirrors. Very cool. So let's move on to the inside and we'll talk more about the inside features. So we're going to take a look inside this 32ds motorhome. This is brand new, which means it's not used. It's brand new from the manufacturer. It's never been sold to anybody. I have it configured right now so you can see the sleep configuration. Now the dinette, the table can go flat and this forms a large bed area. Up in the overhead compartment, we have the big bunk area in the overhead. So this is an electric bed. It's got a little switch that lifts it up to close, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. We're blasting the AC in here. This is a Jackknife Sofa. It tilts over to fold into a sofa. It also has a leg rest that pop out. I'll include that in my pictures. You've got easy to use air conditioning controls right here. And one of the main things about this motorhome, it's got this state-of-the-art 18 cubic foot motorhome mobile refrigerator unit, 4-door refrigerator. They didn't have these a couple years ago. This is a new thing. This pretty much just came out within the last couple years. 18 cubic foot refrigerator. So there are seat belts in here for 8 people. 2 in the front, 2 in the dinette, 2 in the Jackknife sofa here, and 2 in the back bunk bed double-decker sofa. So you can carry 8 people with you, and right here, this 18 cubic foot refrigerator, you can hold all the food that you need to feed them. And that's a big deal. If you start looking at motorhomes, you'll notice some of the manufacturers started to put a bigger fridge in. They put residential home appliance refrigerators into motorhomes. And if you're going to park your RV somewhere and it's just going to stay there for 6 months at a time, that's probably fine. But when you're driving down the road, if you had a big residential refrigerator in your RV, if you ever got in an accident, you wouldn't want that thing breaking loose and bouncing around in there. This is a mobile designed refrigerator, so it's okay to use it when you're camping, when you're parking. You don't have to plug it into anything. RV refrigerators are a cool thing, and I'm going to talk to a separate little video more about that in this as we move forward. But to get to the points, this RV really checks all the boxes for having things that everybody wants. It has a rear king size bed. That's a big deal. You know, not too many motorhomes have a king size bed, but this one does. An actual king size bed. It's more common to find a queen bed or a mini queen that's slightly smaller than a regular queen. But this is an actual king size bed, and you can walk all the way around here. I can even step up here and get to my cabinets. Even though it has underbed storage, I can walk all the way around the bed, which is more than I can say for some motorhomes with queen size or even mini queen. You can get all the way around it. This is the cushion for the dinette that turns the dinette into a bed. You've got a nice big HD TV in the bedroom here. You've got a lot of nice cabinetry, big wardrobe compartments, pull out drawers. These drawers come all the way out, so that's really nice. They come completely out. They're very large wardrobe storage, and you have storage behind the TVs. There's all the TVs don't block the compartments, so you can keep your wires and cables and plug in charging cords and things behind there. You've got actual wooden pocket doors for privacy in the master suite, whether you're changing clothes or sleeping and you want to be private from the rest of the coach. You've got actual wooden doors, not paper curtains, which is really nice. You got reading lights, and you got a little nightstand here and a cubby. So you got a lot of storage right here beside the bed. You got a cubby right here, and you got a nightstand right here. You got wall switches. You got reading lights that you can turn on and off, and you got additional storage up in the overhead compartment. It's a very nicely laid out floor plan. And here's your double-decker sofa, double-decker couch. So if you're traveling down the road, you can turn this light off or leave it off. This sofa comes into the up position, and it's got these pins. You can lock this in the up position when you're not using the top bunk. You could even leave it made with all the sheets on it and pillows, but you put it out of the way, and then you've got your double-decker sofa. You can sit here, two seat belts here. So if I can lift this up one-handed here, it turns into a sofa. And when you're driving down the road, two people can sit down here buckled in and watching TV, and doesn't bother the driver. You can't even see this TV from the front. So you got those long boring drives through the middle of Kansas or something, you can sit here and watch a movie. You've got room for video players. This is HD TV. It picking up the weather report over the air broadcast from your normal TV antenna, so you can check the weather when you're driving, as long as you're within range of the signal. It's digital tuner, so it'll auto tune, and it's got a really nice digital antenna with boosters, signal boosters, so it picks up a lot of stations. There's power points. There's a AC outlets there. There's AC outlets there, so you could sit here and play video games if you wanted when you're driving. Plug in your Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, and sit here and play video games or watch movies. You could even listen on headphones, is a possibility. So we're trying to walk through this, and then we're going to get detailed on everything else. You have a full restroom here, nice toilet. This is brand new. You've got the glass shower enclosure with a nice latch that's easy to unlatch, so when you're ready to use it, you just move the doors over there, and then they close just like so, and then you're ready to take a shower. Turn your shower. I've got the water operational in here. You've got hot and cold running water. So if you're in a campground, you can take nice long hot showers. It's got a flip-flop switch on the shower head, so if you get it all dialed in for your correct temperature and you want to save water because you're not at a campground, you're in what they call boondocking, you can save your water and take very efficient showers that don't use much water at all and get completely cleaned off. Is very convenient. Again, you've got wall switches right here, so I can turn the light on, and you got storage cabinets in the restroom. Stainless steel sink. This is not the flimsy plastic sinks that they put in a lot of RVs. It's a stainless steel sink. It's pretty nice. We've got our control panel here, so you got your level tests to check all your fluid levels. Your water heater, you can turn it on from right here. You can start the generator from right here. It is brand new. Everything's brand new. This RV, the whole thing is brand new. You can run your slide outs in and out from right here, and then your water pump, turn that on. And this even has a auxiliary tank heater to keep your water a little bit warmer. If you happen to go somewhere where it's going to get below freezing at night, you can leave your tank heaters on. In the summer, you'll never have to worry about that, but in the wintertime, you're somewhere where it might go below freezing, you can use those. Again, in the kitchen, you have a double-decker stainless steel sink with hot and cold running water, fully operational. Let's talk more about the kitchen and refrigerators next. So we're in the refrigerator and kitchen appliance section. Let's start with the propane gas oven that we have right here. Your gas oven. You go to a campground, right? You go to a national park or a state park, and you pull in at 8:30 at night. Well, a lot of national park and state parks have curfews, noise curfews, that you can't run your generator after 8 p.m. So you want to cook dinner, not to worry, you have 3-burner cooktop, you propane fired, very nice rubber mounted enclosure so this doesn't rattle when you're driving. The propane gas oven, so you can cook at those no sound zones during quiet time, not to worry. But a lot of campgrounds, I stay a lot at KOA or Good Sam approved campgrounds, and they all have full hookups with electrical power and everything, so nothing to worry about if you're at a full hookup campground. But you may want to go to a boondock campground where you have very minimal connectivity, some really nice places, and this motorhome can handle that just fine. For some people, a gas oven is a must-have, absolute must. But if you like microwaves, which I do, you have an extra large capacity microwave with sensor cooking and everything like that. I mentioned the refrigerator. I'm going to get a little bit more detail explain. RV refrigerators that are designed for mobile applications don't have a compressor like the one in your house, so they don't need 110 volt power to run. This will run on 110 if it's available, but when it's not available, it runs on the 12 volt, and it uses actually propane gas, that's onboard propane for the heat and hot water. And the propane, using ammonia and water reaction, old school system, it cools just perfectly well. And this one, when you turn it on, it's got a lot of extra fans on it. So press and hold it, it comes on, and all the fans start spooling up in here, and then it starts cooling. Read this flyer. I'm going to take a picture of this and explain that a little bit more on the flyer, but basically this is much better than having a home refrigerator, and it's a lot larger than the previous generation of 4-door refrigerators. Your typical RV might have a 6 cubic foot or a 9 cubic foot refrigerator, and compared with the 9 cubic feet, this is double the capacity at 18 cubic feet. So big refrigerator, able to carry all the food you can think of. Let's talk about this power bed. This bed is really cool. You've got all kinds of storage cubbies up in the overhead compartment where you can keep all your pillows and stuff out of the way when you fold it up. So you keep a couple pillows. This is a big bed. This is like the size of a C-Class motorhome cab over bed. And you can fit in the driver's seat and drive with the bed down if you needed to. Or you can fold it up, which is really easy. So if you make the bed and you want to leave it made and you don't want to mess with it, you can just leave it like that and drive like this. I've got quite a bit of head clearance. If you're 7.5 feet tall, you may have an issue, and you'll have to put the bed up out of the way. I'm going to show you how that bed operates right now. So there's a power switch right here which controls it, and you just hit the switch to raise the bed, and it lifts it up or lowers it from the switch. And then there's some magnetic catches that you lock the bed in once it's all the way up. So bed goes up and mechanically lifts it right up out of the way and stows it. Very simple. Now your bed is put away. Close my door. You latch these magnetic catches. Make sure the mattress is out of the way, and it catches on those catches, and now the bed is secure for travel. Very simple. You got LED lighting everywhere in this motorhome, and here's your speakers. We're going to talk about the driver dash features and things like that next. As you notice, these seats do swivel around so you can sit and hold a conversation from the front. This, of course, the steering wheel is in the way here, but this one turns completely around so you can have a conversation and get comfortable. This is a Jackknife Sofa with reclining leg rest. Those are the releases for the leg rest. It just popped out because I released it. I'm going to go on to the next phase of the video talking about these systems next. So this sofa has the sleep configuration, and it has the leg rest. The leg rests pop out, they fold up. So we're going to talk about the driver systems now. And this is a really nice motorhome. You've got that big power sunshade in the front. I can't emphasize how cool it is to have. This is a nice motorhome, and one of the reasons is the power sunshade. So we got quite a bit of glare coming in the window right here. So I just hit the button and the power sunshade goes down. I can stop it anywhere I want. Now you can't put it all the way down when you're driving. It's electronically restricted. When the engine's on, it won't go all the way down. But when you're not running the engine, it will go all the way down. So let's start up the engine and show you more gadgets this thing has. You have these are manual shades on the side, so they lock, or they're slow rise, they roll up. You can put them down, you know, if the sun is coming straight in your window. You get a lot of shade with this type of configuration, and you can still see safely. And in talking about safety, let's turn the turn signal on here, and you'll notice on the navigation screen we've got side camera view appearing now. And my music just started because when I started the engine, the Bluetooth engaged. Now I can turn my my music down or up. I showed you before, I have the music playing on my phone. But we're trying to get to the point about these driver safety features. We've got the right side camera, left side camera, and color. They're all color, not black and white, but they're colored. So I put it in reverse, and I got my rear view camera with guidelines, so it lets you know when you're getting in the red zone, you're getting pretty close, in case you have trouble figuring your depth perception. I'm going to close these to get the glare off because I am filming. Let's close all of them because the sun is coming in the front and I don't want glare messing up my video. So it's really nice to have this music playing wirelessly from your phone. So you can put CD or your DVDs in here. This has a DVD player right in the dash. You can control which speakers the sound is going to go to. You've got cockpit or outdoor, and then living room enable or disable. So if you want all four speakers in the front here, you just flip the switches around, or if you want to blast it to the outside, you can do that as well. So you've got Bluetooth hands-free streaming music, but you've also got Bluetooth phone hands-free calling. So you know, you put your phone in the dial the phone mode. You've got that right here, so you can dial my number 951-681-2101, and now you hit green and you're making a phone call. If you're driving and a phone call comes in, you just press the green button or the red button to hang up. And it's really nice because it's illegal to be holding your phone, so you don't want to be seen with the phone in your hand driving the RV. So you've got all your phone capability. You've got a microphone, and if you want it closer to your mouth, there's even a long cord attached to this microphone. But it's got a nice microphone here built into the radio, so you can hear your voice when you're driving in the motorhome. Very nice. And while we're talking about all that, side cameras, backup cameras, let's go on to this. Only has 3,200 miles on it. It's 101 degrees outside. If I put my camera in the right mode, 101 degrees outside, and I've got a control here so I can toggle through my menus. So I've got 101 degrees, 285 miles to empty, engine hours 67.6, trip, and the outside temperature. And then I can reset my trip meter. I've got my controls, easy access controls. This is a big improvement because the Fords used to not do very much, and that's pretty nice improvement. You've got cruise control right here, standard Ford cruise control, intermittent wipers, and you've got your headlight controls right here, so you can turn the headlights on, and then you've got fog lights, or the LED lights that I showed you outside. You can turn those on and off. You've got your light switch right here. You got LED lights over the bunk, and you can turn those on and off right here from the roll switch for the driver's dimmer control. So I've got my leveling jacks. If I want to retract my jacks, all I have to do is push all retract. The jacks are mechanically raised very quickly. They're not the spring-loaded type from days of yore. And then you got auto leveling button or manual leveling button. So if you're on a, people say, well, why would I want manual leveling? Auto leveling is nice if you're on ground that's close to level, but if you're on extreme, like you're sitting on a hill and the RV's nose is sticking up the hill and leaning to the right, you're not going to be able to level it this way because the jacks won't. You don't want to lift your rear tires 3 feet off the ground. You don't want to lift them off the ground at all, but you could instead just rock the RV to the right. So if you're parked next to the ocean view on the left or right, you can level it on the left side only or the right side only. Just level it slightly so it's a little bit more comfortable. So manual is really handy, and I usually, in my experience, I use manual level more often than I use auto level, but it's really nice to have the auto feature for auto leveling. When you're at the campground, sometimes you just want to hit auto and that's it, but I like to keep it as low as possible, so I use manual sometimes and I use auto. Of course, this is a brand new motorhome, so I haven't had a chance to run this one all over town, but I have about 8,000 miles a year of RV experience if you want to ask me questions. So they've moved the parking brake where it's really easy to get to, easy and very visible. New for 2016 or so, this is much easier to get to the parking brake. And then the tilt wheel goes tilting up or down. I'm going to explain tow haul mode. This has a button on the end of the steering stock. Older used to say overdrive off on like the 2004 and older models. You have a little button right here, and when you push that, you get a little amber light that says tow haul mode. And that's a big deal because if you're driving down a mountain and you want to downshift, instead of just playing like a musical instrument with a gear selector, you can turn on tow haul mode. So when you put the brakes and you're in tow haul mode, it'll automatically downshift the transmission when you're braking and coming down a hill. It makes challenging hills much less challenging. You know, you see those signs, 6% grade in a car, it's not that big a deal. You have to remember when you're driving down a hill, if your foot is on the brake all the way down the hill and you actually see an emergency in front of you, the drivers behind you would have no warning. So the trick when you're coming down a hill, you should try to do it with minimal use of the brake pedal. You want to use your tow haul mode coming down a hill, and then when you need to slow down, you hit the brakes, slow down about 5 miles an hour below what the speed you think you want to go, and then release the brakes so they can cool down. And if you drive mountains like you might with an RV a lot, it's very simple as long as you understand downshift to a lower gear, and it's a lot easier to do when you using tow haul mode. So if you have questions about tow haul mode, or you think I'm wrong or something, you can call me. But basically the trick of driving down a hill is don't touch the brake pedal any more than necessary. Use the transmission downshifting to keep your speed, and that goes for a motorhome. It also goes for personal cars. I see people driving down hills all the time and they don't know what they're doing. And a nice feature of this motorhome, like I said, this is a nice motorhome. So you got a giant mirror up here, which is a conversation mirror. So if you have your lovely passenger sitting next to you, you can sit here and look them in the face and converse without taking your eyes off the road so much. Or they can keep their eye on you and make sure you're awake, you know, if you're taking an all-nighter to hit that destination. It makes it much more entertaining. And I put the seat in the forward position, turn on my little map lights here, and then you're having a conversation and say, hey, you want to see the map or whatever, no problem. It's really nice. And you can kind of lean over and see who's on the sofa, lean down and see all the way to the couch back there, all the way to the bedroom. You can see all the way back from this mirror. It's nice. That I really like that mirror up there. I've never seen a motorhome that did that, and I really that gets an A+ with me. Take a look underneath this Forest River motorhome, and I think I mentioned this is a nice motorhome, and I'm going to show you some things underneath that make it really nice. When they've extended the chassis maybe an extra foot, they do it the right way with steel plates. You've got your heavy-duty V5 towing package, and they properly stretch and stiffen the frame so that it's done correctly with these extra welded brackets that really make the frame a lot stronger. If you've looked at as many motorhomes I have, some of them don't put these extra brackets on, or they put a smaller one extending out. But this has a full frame size extending to the back. It's much stronger. You've got your hydraulic leveling jacks with color-coded lines so they can be hooked up correctly. 4-wheel disc brakes. You've got your Goodyear. Let me get my camera in the right angle. Goodyear RV tires with you've got these valve stem extenders, so it's easy to get to the inside tire. Nice thick tread. And right now I'm going to show you something that I really like about this motorhome. This is an improvement from years past. This big drum at the end of the drive shaft, that's your parking brake. This is a mechanical parking brake. Now on older motorhomes, I'm talking like not that much older, a couple years older, all the motorhomes had the parking brake at the end of the transmission. Now this one, they've moved it to the rear differential, and that helps, and I'll tell you why. If you ever broke your drive shaft on the motorhome, I mean, that's got to be from lack of maintenance when the motorhome's old, you know. But if this drive shaft ever broke, of course the motorhome would be disabled, but at least with the parking brake on the axle, it is still going to stay in park. If some metal thief thought he was going to crawl under here and start disconnecting stuff, he probably won't run himself over. That's a good thing. And you see all your metal is bright and shiny under here. It hasn't been driven around in rain and snow and things like that. So it's real nice and clean. They've got plastic covers over everything, and even you've got a compartment light if you need to access your under compartments, like getting to your electrical circuit breakers. You've got these commercial truck style circuit breakers with reset buttons. If you have a problem in your fuses, they're all easy to get to. You've got this triple electric power step, and as you see, we've got our power awning there. I'm going to roll around, easy to check the tire pressures. Nice thick tire treads. All your lines look good. It looks all excellent condition under here. Everything is brand new because this is a brand new motorhome, but I always show the underside of the motorhomes I sell so you can see the underside. It hasn't been driven into a snowbank or something like that. Your generator underneath. This is the nicest I've ever seen a generator underneath. It's like brand new, because it is brand new. I normally don't sell brand new vehicles. I normally sell pre-owned, so this is unusual for me to get my hands on a new one. This was sent to a new Forest River motorhome dealer to be sold, and unfortunately they had some financial issues at the dealership, and then this was on what's called flooring, where they had a deal with Wells Fargo Bank as leverage. This was collateral for loans they had, and this went to Wells Fargo Bank, who sold it to us so we can sell it to you, which means you're going to get a nice discount compared with this MSRP on these is like $126,000, and way cheaper price than that. Excellent price, well below $100,000 on this motorhome. You're saving a giant pile of money, and you know, you can buy this and give me a call. I'll go over any details you have. My name is Mike Johnson. Give me a call, 951-681-2101. Thank you.